What's going on, everybody? Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Still recovering from a tough loss on Sunday, but we are moving on. We are moving along. We are moving ahead. And now we have Youth Watch Tuesday. Real quick, I know I didn't post the second PFF video yesterday, but by the time I would have posted it, it would have been about 8 o'clock Pacific. And I was like, yeah, that's just too late. That's too late to post a video like that when I don't have to. And my Tuesdays on this channel are typically pretty late. So I was like, I'll just save it for Tuesday. So I'll post it later, probably in a couple hours, unless something big happens in the next couple of hours. So keep your eyes out for that. It's still coming, but yeah, I just decided, you know what? Why cram Monday when I can just fill out a pretty light Tuesday? Okay, so Sleeper back in 60. All right, guys, let's take a minute so I can tell you guys about Sleeper. I'll tell you a little secret as well. It's more than just a platform for fantasy leagues. This year, millions of users have enjoyed playing fantasy sports on Sleeper, but there's so much more to it. You have live stats, real-time updates of all stats. You have a news feed with lightning-fast updates on players and teams, and a real-time chat where you can engage with other users about plays, performances, games, all kinds of stuff during the sports season. So download Sleeper, experience it for yourself, and don't forget to use my promo code SBN to get up to a $100 match on your first deposit, and pair that with their new promo that will give you a free $20 entry, no deposit needed. So you can use both of those promos. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states and going. So check out Sleeper today and use those promos. All right, so Youth Watch Tuesday, you guys know the drill by now. We basically take a look at the to this point performance of the young players on this team. Basically, anybody sitting on a rookie contract or a general equivalent. I think it's a good way to get a feel for the current health of the organization, because these are the guys that you need to be getting a lot out of, and these are the guys that you're actually getting at discounted prices. So we are going to start with Jalen Milroe, although I don't think I need to elaborate here. The guy got one play and he turned it over. So we have 4 yards and 1 fumble on Jalen Milroe's head right now. 26.4 PFF grade. Everything that is needed to be said about Milroe right now has been said. But yeah, he is certainly not helping this team. But we are talking about 3 plays over the course of 5 games, and it's, look, is it his fault? Yes, but it's also our fault for putting him on the field at all. So I just hope that was the end of it. I really do. Running backs, though, although arguably Jalen Milroe is a running back because that's all he does for this team right now. K9 continues to have a really nice season, right? 75 touches in 5 games, so 15 touches a game. So we're not overloading him, and he's got almost 400 yards from scrimmage. Very effective game against Tampa Bay on Sunday. So K9 is doing his thing. PFF grade is very high. He's one of the highest graded running backs in football. Charbonnet, on the other hand, not a very inspiring season so far. He's not really doing that good of a job as a blocker, and he's averaging less than 3 yards per touch. And he wasn't like terrible with the ball in his hands on Sunday, but his pass protection's gotten leaky. He did have a touchdown run, but we're talking about a guy who, according to PFF, is basically replacement level, slightly above. And that's not what we need to be getting out of a guy we spent a 2nd-round pick on a couple years ago. And I don't think all of it is his fault. The interior offensive line has been ugly to this point, but I mean, Ken Walker is producing a lot more behind the same set of offensive linemen, is what I'm trying to get at here. So, yeah. Nothing for the other running backs. Oots is out. Halani did not play. Neither did Jacardia. Okay, let's talk about these receivers here. Let's talk about these guys who are catching passes. JSN, I don't think I need to spell this out here. The guy is absolutely incredible. So far beyond my expectations when we drafted him. And I liked him when we drafted him, fine. But The fact that he's doing this while playing a vast majority of his snaps on the outside is incredible. 37 touches, not a ridiculous number of targets. This is not Puka Nacua, right? Puka Nacua is getting spammed targets. JSN to this point, not really. Like, he is getting targeted a good amount, but he is producing well far and beyond what a reasonable expectation would be given his targets. Caught a touchdown in this game, averaging over 100 yards a game, averaging, what would that be, 109 yards a game, 90.3 PFF, out of this world. Torrey Horton, man, over 100 yards on offense, 9 catches, 3 touchdowns, caught a big 4th down touchdown in that game. And you also have what he's doing on punt returns, where he did make one mistake against the Bucks, but still a big upgrade over what we've had in the past. And offensively, 71.6 PFF grade. I mean, I don't think you could have expected much more from Horton as a rookie, given where he was coming from. So we're definitely winning on that one as well. Bobo, not really a good game, barely played, and when he did, he picked up a holding call that derailed a pretty good play. AJ Barner, though, best game of his career. He's setting it on fire. 16 catches, 138 yards, 4 touchdowns. He is everything you could have wanted and probably more compared to where we were when we drafted him. I was expecting a good blocking tight end that could maybe become an adequate receiver. So far, it seems like he's a little bit more than that. And when you add in the tush-push value that he's providing for this team, he's becoming an important cog. 78.4 PFF grade. On the other hand, Elijah Arroyo is irrelevant. In a game where the Seahawks threw the ball as many times as they did, they dropped back to pass, 35 times, or 34, or something like that. Arroyo gets 1 target, which I think kind of really illustrates the point that right now we do not need him. And people are trying to paint this one in various different shades, saying, oh, well, it's okay. He's here for the long term. He's not here for the right now. But it's hard for me to not look at Elijah Arroyo and then look at some of the deficiencies on this team, on the offensive line, in the interior, on now the defense, mostly because of these injuries, but regardless, and think, man, there are some things we could have done that would have been better than this. 63 PFF grade, replacement level, a little bit above it. Okay, offensive line. So mixed bag here. On the one hand, well, when I say mixed bag, it's mostly negative. You reach into that bag, you're probably pulling out the booby prize. Charles Cross was good. Did let up a couple of pressures, but 5 games, 7 pressures allowed. That's not that far off from like prime Trent Williams. That's not that far off from prime Tristan Wirfs. That would put him up there with the best tackles in the game if he can keep that up. Graded well above average in run blocking and at a borderline great level overall. He's doing his thing. So Charles Cross, money. But I kind of expected that because I know how good he is. These other young offensive linemen, Gray Zabel, graded atrociously in this last game, picked up his first penalty. I don't know if the grading was totally fair, but straight up, and this even is a little bit below where my expectation was for him. And I tried very hard to have reasonable expectations for Gray Zabel. He has been basically at the level of what Laken Tomlinson was last year. The only real difference, I think, is that Zabel's a better fit for our scheme than Tomlinson was last year, but the quality of play has been about the same. And, I can live with that for a little bit because he is a rookie and he is playing a relatively new position for him. But I was hoping for a little bit better than Laken Tomlinson, and I don't feel like we've really gotten it. Maybe a little bit. Again, the main difference is that he's just a better fit because he can move. But I don't know if he's better. And Jalen Sundell, has he been better than Olu Oluwatimi? Has he been better than Connor Williams was last year before he got hurt? I don't think so. Picks up a penalty, gets graded terribly. And look, he's going against Vita Vea. I'm not going to completely throw him off the boat, but I mean, through 5 games, the indication that I'm getting is that we are getting well below average center play from Jalen Sundell. Again, the main boost here is that he's a good scheme fit, but in terms of the actual quality of play, it is barely tenable. And Bradford, I mean, that might have been, according to PFF and according to the metrics, that might have been the worst game he played all year, which surprises me because it didn't jump out to me as super negative in that game. But when you look at the PFF scores at the end of the day, this guy's as bad as he's ever been. And after the offseason hype, it's hard to not be disappointed and confused. Like, what did they see in training camp? What do they see in practice that isn't translating to the game? 46.7. I don't know if that's the worst he's ever been, but it's close. And even if it's not, it doesn't matter. He's probably the worst player at his position in the league, according to PFF grades. And maybe the grade isn't completely reflective of reality, but it's got to be close. Okay, we're jumping over to the defense now, where, I mean, a lot of these guys missed the game or part of the game. We're going to talk about what we can. Byron Murphy played well, picked up a few tackles, and we stopped the run really well. So that's a big part of the battle for Byron Murphy right now. But little impact as a pass rusher, and that goes for the whole defensive line, unfortunately. PFF grade 74.3, so he's moving up. He was graded well for this game, by the way. Mike Morris, on the other hand, played a good amount of this game and made no real impact. I don't know if he was necessarily bad out there, but you do see why he's a guy who needs to be playing like 15 snaps a game at most. And with the injuries on this team right now, he's being overtasked, basically. Linebacker. So, near as I can tell, and linebacker play is tough, neither guy was any good on Sunday. So we have a problem here. Now, Knight did pick up, I think, 4 tackles, including 1 for a loss. Thomas had like 6, including 1 for a loss as well. But, and we'll talk more about this later, I'm not getting the sense that either guy played well. Both of their PFF grades fell pretty sharply. And there's a lot of buzz in the fan base right now that we need to do better than these two guys. And I would hope that the way we get better is that Tyrese Knight just starts playing better the way that he played last year. But I would not be shocked if they go out there and try to find something a little bit superior in the trade market, because I just don't think that this is good enough. I think that Mike needs better play out of his linebackers. So I can't really defend either of these guys too much right now. The best I can say is that Knight had a really weird offseason, but we're in game 5 now, so that should be going away. He shouldn't be getting worse. Boye Mafe picked up his first tackle for loss of the season, had a couple of tackles. Generally speaking, playing fairly well, but he's not making that contract push that we were hoping for. And Derek Hall got hurt very early in that game after picking up a couple tackles. Not much to report there. Both guys are playing fine, and I think Derek Hall is playing a lot better than his numbers because he's upgraded as a run defender, but I don't know. I don't know. It's certainly not anything crazy over the top, and Hall barely played anyway, so whatever. Reek Woolen, another guy who got hurt partway through this game. Had his best game of the season according to PFF, picked up 3 tackles, and his grade did jump a few points, but we are scraping the bottom of the barrel here. And look, obviously, when Woolen went out, we saw that the guys behind Woolen are a lot worse. That does not make Reek Woolen good, and that does not make his play so far this year defensible. I still think there's a lot left to be desired right now with Reek, or Tariq, as he's trying to call himself now. I don't know what his name is anymore, but that was the best we've seen from him so far this year, which is not a good thing. More on his performance in a later video. Witherspoon didn't play. Pritchett played. We all know. He picked up a couple tackles, but was miserable in coverage. Kobe Bryant picked up, I believe, 6 tackles in this game? Oh, I'm sorry, 8. And his PFF grade was good. It jumped up, but still kind of having a weird season by my book. And Eamon Worry, 5 tackles, including another tackle for loss. I thought he played really well. PFF graded him well. I like what I see there. So encouraged by Eamon Worry, doing good stuff. And we need it right now. We need every little bit we can get. So bright spot there. Not a lot going on that defense, but Eamon Worry doing his job as near as I can tell. All right, see you guys later. Go Hawks. More videos coming later. Check out my latest on Bleacher Report. and have a good day.